tonight, me and you.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Listen up, wrestling fans. Showing love for your favorites doesn't stop at a t-shirt. If you're heading to a live event, you better be ready for the hard cam. Step up your show day drip with Hard Cam Creations, custom handmade accessories built for the loudest, proudest fans in the building. Whether you're backing a legend or leading your own faction, these pieces make sure you stand out when that camera swings your way. From spectator to certified superfan, it's time to walk to the ring in style. New drops coming soon. Find Hard Cam Creations on Etsy and follow at Hard Cam Creations on Instagram today.
Ishii's and all those who slay WrestleMania weekend hit like a finishing move, and now we're here for the fallout from bell to bell. I didn't say it was a great finishing move.
That's fair.
Welcome to Kicking Out 2. I'm Michael, and with me is the confetti-covered commander of chaos, the woman who is still emotionally recovering from WrestleMania week, Tori. Hey, Tori.
I don't think emotionally recovering is a fair statement.
I mean, not from WrestleMania, but from like the other stuff that you watched, because the other stuff was better.
There was a lot. I watched more. I think I watched more wrestling in the past like 5 days, 6 days than I have since last year's Mania. And I don't think I watched this much last year.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna kind of beef up the show a little bit here. I've got
Look, before we get started, I need to point out I don't ever do this. I have notes, folks. Tori made notes.
Tori
doesn't make notes. Tori doesn't make notes. Tori was like, let's go longer because I got a lot to talk about.
So we're actually going to start with a story that I didn't even have on my notes until all the stuff that came out today. Obviously, a big thing that's going on right now in the wrestling community is fans overstepping the boundary of the wrestlers being humans as well as being entertainers. We've had a situation where formerly Cora Jade, Elena, had gotten assaulted at a con.
And to her credit, she followed the dude, got him on camera, and now everybody knows who he is.
Yep. Damian Priest had mentioned that he had to forcibly help a couple of girls get through a mob of fans. He's turning into yeah.
Right.
All right. We also heard Booker T state that he had people follow him into the bathroom over WrestleMania weekend. But the one that's hit the most today is the issue with CM Punk, Bayley, and AJ Lee. So AJ Lee and Bayley are in the lobby of what looks like a hotel. It seems to be that AJ Lee is a little overwhelmed by the amount of people that are there. We all know that she has anxiety issues. It's part of what's in her book, explaining those issues. And Bayley's just kind of comforting her, hugging her, trying to get her that way. Well, you see a POV of a camera. Is the first video that came out, and it's of the person that is causing the issue. He follows them into the elevator landing. Bayley pushes against his camera, tells him to go away, and he just kind of stays there. And then seconds later, Punk comes over and slaps the phone out of his hand.
He's lucky all Punk slapped was the phone.
Yeah. Which some of the beginning of that, just to explain, some of that was not in the original video, because the original video was a second party that saw what was going on and took video of it. But then his video also came out and shows him following them into the landing, getting towards Bayley's face, close enough where she could touch the phone. And then the thing happened with Punk. He is getting, hey Stampede, he is getting tore up online. He's even said, I don't know how true this is, but he has said he's been fired over the situation now.
Good.
But people are dog walking this man on the internet because he's asking for an apology. He's saying, I'm going to be nice enough not to sue you guys. I want a public apology though. So what do you have to say?
Look, I I have met famous people at different times in my life.
Christy's over on TikTok. Hey, Christy.
We went to the thing at Toby Keith's. We've talked about that. A jersey behind your head.
Mhm.
Apparently these people were camping out in the lobby at like 4 a.m. with their children.
Yeah.
If you are camped out, and you can prepare to cut this, whatever. If you are a fan, and I put that in quotes because if you're doing this shit, you're not a fan. You're a stalker.
Yeah.
But if you're waiting at the airport or you're waiting at the hotel, outside the venue is one thing because you were there for the event. If they come through and you have a chance, cool.
Yeah.
If they don't stop, don't be weird about it.
Yeah. But it's still that it's the even the extent, because like even in the venue itself, I've been at venues where there is no place for the wrestlers to use the bathroom, so I have seen them go into like the lobby areas, go to the main bathrooms there. Don't like the one with Booker T fascinates me because you followed Booker T into the bathroom. Like if there's
how
ever any
creepy
place
is
to
that?
have privacy, like I'm going in there to do my business. He's going in there to shucky ducky quack quack, and you're following him in there. Like, come on now, shit.
I hate you. It's fucking creepy.
It is.
And it's fucking weird. And you're the reason now this guy that touched Elena Black, she's not going to do them anymore.
Yeah.
He will not do these anymore. It's that guy's fault. After what happened, this dude, and I had seen some people being like, hold on, this isn't the whole story, because the way they framed it was that he crashed out on this guy because he lost. His loss had nothing to do with this.
No.
One had zero to do with the other.
Well, and that was his the person who started the whole issue. That was his initial post, was him saying, "Oh, he must be having a bad day because he lost." No, you're getting in his wife's face. What
Who is having a private moment with a friend? I understand they're in the lobby and they're famous.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't matter.
You don't get the right just because you're a fan of theirs. You don't get a right because you follow them on Twitter. You don't get a right because you bought a ticket.
I am also going to put this on the WWE.
Oh, for sure.
This is why I have such a huge concern about Saudi Arabia next year. Yeah. Things like this.
We heard early on, there was reports early on that they were not going to have like security like they normally do. And
which
you
is
and me both had a conversation about that, of like, that's going to be a problem. And it is.
And now it's a problem.
Yeah. It's insane to think that, you know, these we can't call them fans because they're not. But these individuals are thinking that, well, just because I bought my ticket to see this person wrestle, I can go over here and like, I didn't see this on video, but a couple of different responses said that someone even tried to like put their arm around AJ Lee and take a selfie.
Yeah, it was the same guy.
Well, yeah, but I was just saying, I didn't like that didn't come over on a video, but a couple of different people had posted that. So like, I think there's some validity to that if a few people are saying it, rather than just like one person going, and this asshole did this. But you know, if there's multiple accounts of that, then obviously there's some fire there. But goodness gracious.
MJF posted, wrestlers, we need to start hitting fans again.
And I don't disagree.
In a situation like that, absolutely. These people that are like, I want you to sign 27 things. What?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a wrestler, I'm like, what's your name? And I sign them to them. Because what are they going to do with it at that point?
Well, and that's what a lot of, like, I've seen a lot of videos of people now, and that's like, who do I put it to?
Yeah.
Because if you put it on there, then like, are you because it says to John?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is such creepy and weird behavior, and why wrestling in general, why this is why people look at us and go, "You're a weird wrestling fan." It's the same as the all men thing.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's not all men,
Right.
but until it's no man, it's all men.
Yeah. Well, and his rebuttal on this, to add on to that for you, if you have to say not all wrestling fans or they should be happy about this, then you're the problem. You are the problem. You're damn right. Schultz would have knocked him the hell out. And yeah, like if I was Punk, like I understand you're trying to think of your public image, and obviously if you get sued, there's a problem.
My public image be damned.
I know, but that's like I can understand like the thought of that, but yeah, I can't say I wouldn't have popped the dude in the face. Like that's ridiculous. You know, he's mentioned plenty of times before. Bailey's kind of like a second daughter to him.
Yes,
she's their road wife to both of them, so he's really close to Bailey. And then the other one's his
he's
wife.
protective.
Yeah, like it's crazy that you think you can get that close to somebody. But we're gonna get on to happier conversations. I don't want to be dealing with this bullshit the entire episode. So we're gonna have a little bit of better value in the show because we're gonna have slides now. Because why not?
Let's go.
So we are going to talk about WrestleMania. Obviously, this happened this past weekend. We're going to get through the WrestleMania matches real quick, just to talk about like what happened and our thoughts on each match. And then we're going to talk about a topic that you wanted to bring up and I wanted to bring up as well, as far as a problem that we had with Mania and WWE.
Are we allowed to just say no one cares on some of these matches?
I mean, we can. The first one. So this was the pre-show. For those that didn't get to watch it, it's a pre-show without being a pre-show. It was the free show that they decided to put on. It was the Usos and LA Knight versus IShowSpeed and The Vision. I didn't really care about this match. The thing that
I have no idea how IShowSpeed ended up joining with the Usos. I don't even know what happened.
So what ended up happening is, like, they lost. They blamed IShowSpeed. And so then Austin and Logan punked him out, started beating him down. And so then the Usos and LA Knight came in, saved him. They all walked out together. The only thing that I enjoyed about this match was IShowSpeed, to be honest, because like he showed a little bit of talent. He's for those that don't know, he has trained a little bit, not in full force, but like he had a show where he would learn how to do certain jobs. And one episode was a wrestler. And so he went through, a couple of days of wrestling training.
He got beat up.
Yeah. So, but he showed some talent. That splash he did off the top rope was insane looking. Good on him to do that.
Sorry. Stampede, are you telling me that whole match was only 5 minutes? Seriously?
I think he might be giving it 5 stars.
There's not a chance that's happening.
Well, but I think he's a 10-star, like out of 10.
Okay.
But yeah, explain yourself, Stampede. Well, we go ahead and go on to the next match because yeah, I'm with you. I didn't care about this. So, yep. That's not the next match. Why is?
I don't know. It's fine.
These all got out of order, apparently, so we're just going to go through them here.
It's fine.
So let's talk about Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Honestly, yeah, see. It's still a little high as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's about
maybe
4.5 points too high in my flavor, but...
this match actually was better than I thought it was going to be. I was worried about the mixing of styles between the two, but it was actually better than I thought it would be.
Here's the issue. This shit was predictable as hell.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew Braun Breaker was cleared. We knew he was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Who didn't see this coming? Stevie Wonder saw this coming.
Yep. The only thing I didn't see coming is that he had hair. I don't know if he knows that. He let his hair grow out.
He sprinted down that ramp, and I'm like, bro, that's 75 yards. You sure?
Yep. Well, in that second shot of him, like, he was up back at the top of the ramp. And, like, he was hauling
That's what I'm saying.
Like...
But I didn't care. This match meant nothing to me. There were so many mid matches that meant nothing.
Yeah. This
So
was the match that we should have just been talking about. So Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu had essentially a street fight, beat the living hell out of each other. It was an unsanctioned match.
I will say the throwback to the toolbox was amazing.
The throwback to the toolbox was fun. For those that don't know, like that was the weapon that was used on Drew the last time he was in some sort of street fight. And so
Yeah,
as soon as he
Stimpy,
saw,
that spear was not good.
Yeah. But as soon as he saw that toolbox, he was like, "All right."
He freaked out for
Yeah.
like he backpedaled really quickly, which is very undrew.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a nice little add-on.
Yeah. But a decent match. I got this was one that it was good. It was a nice fight. The women's tag title match. I was unfortunately correct on this in our predictions. However, the better thing that came out of this is Paige came back. Nikki obviously had an injury. She had broken her ankle. It wasn't cleared to wrestle quite yet. And so they called an old friend and Paige came out. Were you excited to see Paige?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I loved Paige. I was a huge Paige fan. There were some problematic things with her ex-boyfriend that she backed up. And so I am very on the fence about Paige.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that.
We will leave it at that. Absolutely. The man Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. This was kind of just a blow off. I think anybody with a brain knew that Becky was probably walking away with this. She wasn't going to lose for a 5th time in a row on a pay-per-view. So obviously she was going to get it back. Hey, Bobby, and Lady Alpha. Hey, welcome in. Was a decent match though, but it's kind of just the same match they've had. So wasn't anything spectacular in my opinion. I don't know about you.
It was what you expected.
Yeah. She cheated to win. It was a fun little way that she cheated.
It was exactly what we expected.
Yeah. Stephanie Vaquera versus Liv Morgan. For what it was a good match. We will talk
what it
more.
was.
We will talk more about the for what it was here in just a little bit. Well, I hope being in here gives you a little bit of levity. I hope we help you at least be a little bit okay. But Liv Morgan wins the title back, which I think none of us are surprised by that. They have not been behind Stephanie at all until this, like 2 weeks before this. We finally started like booking her like she's a champion. So, all right, and our main event. I was very happy that Jelly Roll did not come down with Cody. And the only time he showed up was to take out Pat McAfee, and that was it. That was the only time we saw him. We were done. But this was strange. I don't know what other way to say that, but Cody walks away with it.
That's not all Cody walked away with.
Oh yeah. To get to the end of the match, so Jelly Roll took out Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee's carted off to the back. He comes back out with a ref shirt and a neck brace because the ref went down. And Randy pinned Cody. And Pat McAfee does a regular 3 count. It's almost like Starrcade 98 all over again. I don't know what happened here with the 3 count and the weird ref thing, and I don't know what's going on here. But he does a normal count. Randy has no reaction to that. And then RKO's him. And then gets hit with a crossroads. I don't know what's going on here. Because like it
Can I just say that was the second prettiest crossroads of the weekend?
Yeah. Absolutely. We'll talk about that later. The thing that got me about this is, and I think if I remember right, I texted it to you right after it happened. And I was like, it would have made perfect sense if he would have at least acted mad at McAfee for not doing a fast 3 count, but like he didn't react to it at all. And then just stood up, looked over his shoulder, RKO'd him, and then that was it. We're done. So it was just nuts. Oh, Lexus King is the new speed champ. Things that I don't give a shit about.
Don't care.
He was
So
also
apparently
the,
AJ was crying when Bailey hugged her.
Yeah, you were off topic.
I had missed that AJ was crying.
Yeah, she was having, it hasn't been reported, but it has been said by a couple people there. It looked like she was having a bit of an anxiety issue because of the crowd that was there. And so that's why Bailey was kind of pulling her off to try to get her away from the crowd.
That makes me that dude even more lucky he didn't get monkey stomped.
Yeah.
My partner is crying and you're going to do that? Nah, bro. It's hands. On God, it's hands right there on site.
Yep. This is a match that happened. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. They both took each other's finishers, but then Brock Lesnar got dog walked and pinned, and Oba walks away with it. But the thing that everybody's talking about is then Brock takes off the gloves, takes off the boots, throws up the X for some reason, and then hugs Paul and walks away.
Okay.
So
we are well aware of my feelings on Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
This match went exactly as it should have.
Yeah.
Just how it should have gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a 1 or a 7? Because a 1 would have been fine. It went how it should have.
Mm-hmm.
Brock retired. I can't pretend like he hasn't done some things, but bitch, bye.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am kind of curious. Is he actually done? Because technically, I think he's contracted for one more match. So
I think he's done.
Is he just, I'm done with it? And how they were talking about it on the show versus how they talked about it the next night on Raw seemed a little weird, because during the show, they're like, he seemingly has retired. He has seemingly quit. And then the next night they do the video package, and they're like, yeah, he's done. So I'm wondering if maybe it was like a in-the-ring moment of him just saying, like, I think that's it. I'm done.
I do wonder about that, if he just was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm a go. But
great for Oba.
Yes, and then Oba's response on Monday was perfect.
Oh, yeah. Him just saying,
perfect.
The ruler's here. Yep, we're done. The ladder match, which was just crazy. I did not win this one in the predictions. Penta keeps it, so you got the point on that one. But I
got the point on that one because I couldn't bring myself to pick Ray.
Yeah. But I that's the thing, though. I do got to give Ray one bit of credit. That bump he did to Rusev on the ladder to the outside.
He took that bitch to the head, too.
Yeah. Like, that was a crazy spot. I think everybody shined, in my opinion, except for Dragon Lee. I didn't see a lot out of him. But JD McDonough,
Dragon Lee didn't shine because they didn't show his entrance, because those wings were amazing.
Yeah, that too. They had 3 entrances that they just decided not to show, and one of them was his, which he had these massive wings made, and they're just not going to show it. That's fine. Not even just like what happened during the commercial break, which commercial breaks during a WrestleMania is crazy too. That's just, why are we doing that?
The match itself wasn't bad. There were crazy spots, and it was fun. It was exactly what you expect from a ladder match at WrestleMania.
It was a car crash, and Javon Evans, to me, was the star. Like, the spots he did were insane. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Trick Williams walks away with it. I don't think any of us questioned that was going to happen.
Nope.
This hopefully signifies the heel turn for Sami Zayn.
I don't care. They've done nothing to make me care about Sami Zayn.
Oh, I don't disagree. Well, and maybe he's going to start feeling a little oozy again because of what happened Monday. Because now apparently the bloodline's back. We've restarted that game. We're now in the 7th inning stretch of that. Finn Balor as the Demon versus Dominic Mysterio. Demon Balor won, which I knew was
To
going to
no
happen.
one's surprise.
Yeah. The presentation was weird to me, though.
The presentation was the makeup was amazing.
Yeah.
The whole rest of it was dumb. We all knew Balor was winning. He wasn't losing.
Well, and what I mean by the presentation is just like it's like he hyped up more of it being a different person. Because he was like checking the audience and he was sticking his tongue out a lot and he was growling. Like he wasn't Finn at all. So all that talk he did
I'm okay with, except that the moveset is still the same. This is our biggest beef with this.
Well, and to me though, it could even go the other way with all that talk he did on Chris Van Vliet's podcast of saying, like, to me it was just war paint. Then come out as Finn. Don't do the whole like demon thing. Just be Finn with the paint.
Right.
It's fine. It's okay. We still like you. I will say, hold on, before I go on past this, there's a lot of female wrestling fans that have podcasts as well. One of them that I do watch, the Main Event Mamas, they are very glad that he's got the chunies back now. He's not wearing the full tights anymore. So he does the dick thrust during his entrance. They were very happy about that.
Oh, it's so good.
Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. You and I both said that this was either going to be a great match or fucking awful. And it was a great match. Like, it actually was really good.
Rhea carried her, and I was 99% sure Rhea was going to win. But that slide out from Jaded into the Riptide was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with that, but that shit was so good.
Yep. Well, and I do got to mention the tweet that came out after the match, because Cargill added a new move to her repertoire, which apparently we're calling the Sandstorm or Sandfall or something.
Sandstorm is what they call it. I'm sorry. The only Sandstorm I know is that techno song from the 90s.
Yeah.
And I know you know what I'm talking about too.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Sandstorm. But I saw this and I'm like, did you all just disrespect the one-winged angel by calling it the Sandstorm?
Yeah, it was weird.
Now, to be fair, Kenny tweeted about it and was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And gave her the thumbs up. And he's like, the one-winged angel was just on WrestleMania. I'm kind of cool with that.
Yeah.
But to call it the Sandstorm?
Yeah,
it was the best. It was strange. Look at you. Appreciate your fan.
Is that a parfait?
Nah, it's a strawberry shortcake.
Okay. I thought it was a parfait. Everybody loves a parfait. Parfaits have layers. Oh. Then after all that, we had an interesting moment with Danhausen, John Cena, The Miz, and Kit Wilson, which it was what it was. Like, it was fun. It was for the kids. It was for the haha. You had midgets, which Michael Cole then immediately popped off with, they told me to call them midgets. Just to be clear, they told me to call them midgets.
Because Corey was like, dude.
Yeah. But they all come out there. One of them punches Kit Wilson in the dick, which then Miz gets mad at that. Danhausen then punches Miz in the dick, and then does the very evil 5-knuckle shuffle. Horribly, but
I need someone to explain to me why in 2026 we're still punching people in the dick with midgets like it's funny. Stop it.
That's why. Is there sometimes I'm just a 13-year-old boy? That's he punched him in the dick. And it's how he sold it too. Like, that was the part that was funny, because he doubled over, fell. Like, it was hilarious. You're a gidget. Yeah, I'm with you. I was there too. But then to me, the funniest part though is the procession of Danhausen midgets carrying Miz off like he's the Undertaker being sacrificed.
Carrying him off like he's fucking Violet Beauregard. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The better image was Danhausen chasing after the golf cart with John Cena on it with a couple of midgets in tow.
Yeah, it was fun.
And again, folks, don't cancel us. They told Michael Cole to call them that, so we stuck with it.
Yeah, which I think we actually just got a notification that we got hit for hate speech. So someone has apparently came by and had heard us call them midgets. But that's what they wanted to be called. And what's his name? The little comic. Brandon Williams? The one that hates
Brad Williams.
Brad Williams, there you go. Like the one that hates Tyrion Lannister because he took away jobs. Which, by the way, just for him, fuck Peter Dinklage. But he even says midget. Like
he hates Peter Dinklage.
He does, which is really fun if you watch the interview that he did, and he was drinking some Tanqueray while he was doing the interview. He was hilarious. But yeah, so that happened, and then we got to the main event, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. It was a good match, but it's what we expected. Like we expected it to be a match like that. Punk got caught on camera blading, which that to me is more a production problem than it is anything else.
Yep.
Oh.
What?
Well, we just got kicked off of TikTok. Just FYI. We can be back the 24th. So.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. Our live has been suspended till the 24th. So, yay. Whatever.
I hear controversy creates cash.
That's right. I'll do a TikTok about that later, about us getting kicked off of TikTok.
100%.
But anyway, so this was a match that happened. Roman Reigns walks away with it, which is not what I expected. I will say that. Like, I did not expect that at all. He went on the after show and basically said, like, this part-time stuff, we're going to handle that. And so he's saying, at least for the summer, because he did very specifically say the summer, we're going to see him. So
he said, you're going to see my ass all summer. Okay, so once September gets here, he out.
So he's losing SummerSlam. That's what I just heard.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever he's facing a SummerSlam, he's losing that title to.
That's exactly what I heard.
But it happens. It happens. All right. So the thing we want to talk about a little bit with WrestleMania is women's matches. First of all, there was no women's matches on night 2, except for the women's world title match. All of them got no time. I know that you got some stats from Stampede, so if you want to share those real quick.
I did. So, obviously, I am a big proponent of women's wrestling. Roman and Cody's entrance between the two of them was 10 plus minutes. 10 minutes for 2 entrances.
Yep.
The tag title match got 8 minutes. 8 women. They basically got a minute apiece. The title match with Liv Morgan got 7 minutes. AJ and Becky got 8 minutes. Rhea and Jade got 10.
Yep.
You had a 4-hour fucking show, and the women got 33 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and I do also want to preface, and Stampede, if you want to put the actual number in there, if you have it handy, I know Stampede was kind of doing the math as we were watching the show, and it was like 35% of the show is wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I think 87.5% was all commercials. Why are we doing commercials on a pay-per-view?
I will say, while they were on ESPN2 and ESPN, cool. I get that.
Yeah.
ESPN has TV contracts.
The pre-show, yeah, go for it.
Well, but yeah, the hour on ESPN2, the hour on ESPN, okay, cool. You have commercials. I get that.
Yeah.
During the rest of the show, what are we doing?
Yeah.
They are They literally had a fan at ringside sitting next to them at Raw.
That damn Stampede.
And the sad part is, you know what? Nope, I'm not.
Nope.
I'm not.
Let's stay on topic.
We already got suspended off of TikTok. We don't need to keep that ball rolling.
Yeah.
What are we doing now? To be fair, none of these women's matches mattered. They've done nothing to build them. The build for them was terrible. So yes, that's true. It doesn't change the fact that you had 8 women in a match and gave them a total of 8 minutes.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
How is this not at least twice that?
And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but every 4-corner tag match I've ever seen, you have 2 people in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And we changed that for this match to have 4 people in the ring. I assume to also lessen the time. Because then we don't have to make everybody shine in separate moments. It was a ridiculous choice. You had plenty of time to have a longer match. Give them 5 more minutes each. That's 20 minutes out of the whole bunch of commercials you had. There we go. Total runtime was 450 minutes. Total match time for both nights was 167. 37% of the 7.5 hours featured wrestling. Which I get it. So they are more a story-driven company. I've always been okay with that. I'm fine with that. Even if it was 50-50. 50 storytelling stuff and 50 in the ring, I'd be okay with. But you did 37 and gave the women no time. That's ridiculous.
The fact, if you wanted all these women to be involved like that, make it a tornado tag. You could have easily had all of this stuff happening outside the ring. Then Nikki being out there makes sense because Nikki can get involved legally. But
well, that's the thing is, legally she could anyway. Because with it being 4 tag teams, you can't DQ somebody. So it's like the triple threat rule. Triple threat, you can't really DQ somebody. So it's always kind of a no DQ thing.
If you were doing this short of a time frame, it should have been elimination.
Yeah. That would have worked.
But there's no reason for this to be this short.
No.
Yes. Fair. We had 8, 10, 12, 14 women on the show. Cool. 16 if you count Roxanne and Raquel showing up.
Yep.
And obviously BFAB and all. But so 20 people. Round numbers, 20 people.
Yep.
And you gave them a total of 33 minutes?
I want to lead into the next night. Monday night, they did better. But I want to make sure everybody does not take this off their plate of the biggest show of the year. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling. They should have had so much time, and it should have been so much better. For all matches, let's be clear on that. But for the women specifically, they should have had longer. They should have had more into it. It shouldn't have been what it was.
Hey, Stampede, do you happen to have the stats from Dynasty available from AEW's last pay-per-view? Because I'm curious to see, obviously it's one night. It's not their biggest show of the year. I'm curious how much time, and I think they only had 1 or 2 women's matches.
Yeah.
But how much time did they give them? I just don't understand. We did all of these things to have this women's revolution, women's evolution, whatever. And we're giving the girls 33 minutes out of 450 total minutes.
I agree with you. That is a lot better than women's wrestling.
GCW had Podermania, which was a women's only card.
Yeah.
But we can't. You have the biggest show of the year as you tout it, and you gave the women 33 minutes?
Yeah.
What? With this roster you have, are you kidding? Holy shit, that's the Mae Young Classic. Look at fucking
Yeah.
Rhea's hair.
Mm-hmm.
Shayna, Bianca. Holy fuck.
Yep. Raquel's in there.
Yeah. This is something that's been irritating me. I see in ring for the main show was 70%. 70%.
Yep.
They have a few commercials. I'm fine with that.
Almost flipped.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like, to me, the commercial should have been like the prelim videotape for the next match. That's what it usually is. But we had full-on commercials.
I'm okay with some kind of break, like after the ladder match, because you got to clean up the plunder. Yeah. I get that.
Backstage segments, interview segments.
The more that we see these shows from TKO, and I'm not going to put this on WWE anymore. This is parent company.
We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, I've got that on our list to talk about too.
Well, but the more I see, the more you're telling me you don't care about the wrestling. You don't care about the fans. All you care about is how much money you can make.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Were you going to cover the Cody part with his bus?
Huh? I think I may have missed
Okay. So Cody, one of the things you could have bought WrestleMania weekend was getting onto Cody's bus and doing like an autograph and picture, and I don't know what the time frame involved was. People paid $10,000 per person for this, and after night one, they canceled it because of Cody's injuries.
Yep. Which, for those that don't know, so Cody got kicked in the face, the punt. He got stuck. Like it happens sometimes.
He took it flush.
He took it flush. They're saying probably a broken orbital bone is the last thing I saw today. That it's a serious injury, and that's okay. So that's fine. Like he got hurt. Okay, I'm
100%.
Do something. Have Roman do it instead. Do anything to make it up to the fact that they paid the $10,000 for that.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Stampede. Tekla Hater went 22 minutes or 16 minutes on the main card, 22 minutes of the 0 hour, 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
22 minutes of it was women's matches.
Yep.
This is just for them this is their backlash.
Yeah.
It's not a pay-per-view that matters. And in their 5-hour show, I still got 30, almost 40 minutes of women's matches.
Yeah. Well, and I think the major difference between the two that we always say is, like, obviously AEW is the place where it's wrestling. It is a wrestling show. It's wrestling first, story later. But WWE could give us more wrestling. It can still be WWE style wrestling. I'm not saying go out there and have, what they say, two vanilla midgets under 5'4" wrestling for an hour. I don't need to see that from WWE because you don't have a lot of people that can do that. But give me a little more time in the matches.
I just don't. We made such a big push for the women after the Bellas got 3 minutes or whatever it was.
Yep.
We pushed and we pushed. And everything was so much more important at the time.
Mm-hmm.
How are we back there?
Yeah. It seems like
because that's where we are.
Yeah.
I hope every one of these women is furiously pissed. And they start coming out and putting on crazy matches.
Yeah. Start maximizing.
Or they come out
and just have insane matches.
Or they come out and just phone it in every time to prove a point.
Yeah.
So, but the Cody thing, they canceled that, and I'm just like, these people paid $10,000 a pop to do this, and you just canceled?
Yeah.
Okay, Cody's injured, we can't do that. Here's these 2 other things you can pick from, or here are these 5 other things you can pick from.
Yeah.
Or you can carry this over to XYZ show. Something.
Yeah. Well, and
They just canceled it.
I bring up Roman just for the simple fact of like, why don't you have them meet the person that beat Cody then? Biggest star in your company?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, Cody's QB1. I get that. But everybody knows Roman. Have him go out there and meet these people instead. Have the Usos go out there instead. Have fucking LA Knight go out there. Like, I don't care who it is. Like, have some sort of makeup of like, hey, we're still going to, like, even still refund some of it too. Because obviously, I'm not paying 10 grand to see LA Knight.
Right.
But
that's what I'm saying.
We'll give you 50% back. We'll
get and here's a room with 6 different wrestlers in it.
Yeah.
Whoever you can put your hands on to do it. But something. I just, the more I see from them, the more I see that they don't give a shit about the fans anymore.
Yep. Which they don't, and we'll talk about that. We'll move on though. AJ Styles obviously was put in the Hall of Fame this weekend. He did an interview and mentioned that his next position, he's staying with WWE, and he's got a specific position. He is going to be part of the WWID talent recruitment program. So he's going to be one of the guys out there looking for people to be part of the ID program. And I'm great with that. I think him going out there and finding the new talent, that's a great eye for it. I don't know what you think about that.
Good for him on having something he wants to do. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
I love AJ, but okay, you're going to go be a talent scout. So you're going to be a backstage guy. Cool. Good for you.
The other thing we found out Bloodsport is ending for now. I looked into this just to see some of the history of it because, like, I've only been watching the last couple of years.
Right.
Did you know this was started by Matt Riddle?
I heard that, and I was like, well, that explains why I didn't watch it before.
So he started it in 2018. And
Barnett before he actually made his WWE run.
Yeah. But it's sad to me because this was the place that everybody crosses over. Like, you had AEW talent, you had WWE talent, you had local talent, indie talent, UFC talent, all of them mixing in. So it was a great place to see everybody together.
So he said it's done. GCW said, pump the brakes. We didn't say it was done.
Yeah.
Honestly, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think what they're going to end up having to do, because I think the Bloodsport thing is his. Like, it is his thing. And so they're going to have to find something else to call it, but I think they'll probably end up doing something similar. An underground thing, a Fight Club thing, something.
I don't see how he could own the name since there's a Van Damme movie named that. So I don't know how that would work. Honestly, if you want to make it a big name still, give it to Shayna. Let Shayna do it. People are going to show up for Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
She's Shayna Baszler. Her and Natty beat the piss out of each other. That shit was amazing.
Certainly did. That was
hell. Put Natty's name on it.
Yeah. But anyway, he said it's ending for the foreseeable future. Obviously, GCW has something to say about that. Regardless of that, it does seem to be that it's not going to be dead forever, which I'm glad that we're eventually going to see it back. I will say there's a lot of rumor and innuendo of why we're doing this.
So he said, I saw what he said on Ariel Helwani.
Okay, what do you say on that?
He said that the plan was to make it bigger than it is, and it never came to fruition. And the question is, do we keep going, or do we just say, okay, we're not going to get where we want this, let's just shut it down? And since it hadn't progressed like he wanted, he shut it down.
Yeah. There seems to be some holes in that thought process.
I agree.
In my opinion. There is a lot of contention because apparently he has been offered a job with WWE before as a coach. And so that's a possibility. And that would be a
I
reason he would have to
won't.
shut it down.
Except, does he though? Because Shayna, Natty, I mean, a number of people have
Well,
shown up on that show.
I think that's why, to me, that would make sense why he was saying for now. Because it may be one of those things of like, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to settle on my job, and then we're going to work on this to try to make it a thing again. And maybe it's NXT Underground or whatever they called it before in the WWE world. Maybe it's that instead. But do something similar where we can bring in people and have these fights.
Stampede, are you telling me that is a 6-woman match for Athena's title? Because that's a crazy amount of talent. And then Peraza Diamante will be amazing too. I thought his reasoning was weak. If you're leaving because you got the job, just say you're leaving because you got the job. Don't be a bitch about it.
Yeah. Well, and especially if he's going to be if he's going to be a coach over in NXT, I'm fine with that because that means we're going to get more people learning how to actually look like they're fighting. And if we're going to get more of that, then we get more of the, for lack of a better term, AEW style wrestling.
How much of that are they going to let? Here's my problem with that. Because of what AEW or what WWE TKO has been doing, are you really going to let him do it?
I think they would in NXT. I think NXT is its own thing. It's similar to what it was when Vince was running the show. Of the two main shows is what we're worried about, and then there's that little thing over there, and do whatever.
I agree, Stampede. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What else you got?
They tried that. Speaking of TKO, Mark Shapiro was caught in a recording saying that TKO has full operational control over WWE's business direction and creative. Which, now that that's being said, I do want to say everybody needs to get off Triple H's dick. Because that just showed right there, this isn't Tripp. Tripp had control there for a little bit, and we all loved it. If you remember, like it for a little while, it was great, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I very much, and I think Stampede has said it. Whatever, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
like we talked about the 5 to 7 years, 10 years, whatever. With the way it's going, I don't know that it's going to take 5 or 7 years.
Yeah. Something's
I really don't. I don't see this becoming a long-term thing because you're going to ruin it.
Yeah.
They already are.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because like WWE had this major growth after some of the changeover. You had the Netflix deal for Raw, USA asking for SmackDown to come back. They make a lot of good money from that. CW asking for NXT, so we're getting that off of an online platform and back onto TV. ESPN distributing, the premium live events. But I mean, it's obviously that their core strategy now is to pander to the non-fan, because we have the celebrity involvement. We have The Rock, Logan Paul, Pat McAfee,
Jelly Roll, Speed.
Jelly Roll, yeah. You have all these integrations that are happening now, which I even feel bad. Like I feel bad putting Logan in that mix because Logan was there before and he's actually worked his ass off and became a full-time talent. But you have all of this integration. Most of it has fallen to shit. But it's to get that pop of like, oh my God, look, so-and-so's on TV. And to the point, friend of the show, she was in the chat earlier, Christy. Her son has been watching the show because iShowSpeed was on it.
Yep. And I get that, and that's great. If we don't care about the hardcore fan, you're going to lose. First of all, you're pricing out families and you're aware of it and don't care. Now we don't care if we lose.
In the recording. He even mentioned that in the recording of that fans are increasingly fragmented now because it's all over these different platforms. You're spending so much money that like it's fatigue now. It's chasing fans away.
I spent, and to be fair, most of what I watched was while I was working. Um, on the clock. Um, that's convenient for you and the clock. Sorry, dodgeball. I I watched a lot of it while I was stuck at my desk.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't have watched it anyway.
Damn.
Not the line of Adderall on the Resolute desk. Um, I enjoyed the hell out of a good portion of that. I struggle with the death matches. But I enjoyed a lot of what I saw, and there was a lot of people I didn't know. Like I made a list of people that this weekend I'm like, these are MVPs.
Yeah, and
First of all,
we still have
go
the
ahead.
bring it to the table segment coming later that we're going to talk all about the indie stuff that we watched over the past week.
Oh, okay. Is that when we're doing all that?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
the whole segment's for.
How
Welcome
long
to the
is
show,
that
Tori.
segment? Because we're gonna need a minute.
Yeah. Well, we're only sitting at 8:30. I think we got some time here.
All right.
But yeah.
I don't care. I watch Raw because we talk about it. I haven't watched a SmackDown in months.
Yeah. I mean, I only watch it because it kind of like you were saying, like I'm stuck at my desk at that time, so
yeah,
I'll throw it on because I'm here. Like, why not? I'll throw it on, watch it, see what's going on. Yeah, most times not worth it.
I just don't watch it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I watch NXT because I enjoy NXT. I overall enjoy NXT. But I don't care about SmackDown.
Well, and that's where I'm saying, like, I think TKO is treating this a lot like Vince is, where, like, the thing they're worried about is SmackDown and Raw. They're worried about those two things.
Yeah.
NXT's still good because Sean gets to run NXT. And he runs it like he wants.
Yeah. I'm not paying for their monthly pay-per-views. I'm not doing it. I considered it for Mania, but no.
No.
I'm not
worth it.
It's not.
No.
It's $50 a month.
Yeah.
For me to watch one pay-per-view. I'm good. I'd rather just pay for a pay-per-view. And if I'm going to do that, it's going to be an AEW pay-per-view because I know that shit's going to be good.
Yeah. Whether the show's leading up to it were or not. Pay-per-view
that pay-per-view is going to hit.
Yeah.
That shit's going to hit like cocaine straight into your veins. Like.
Mm-hmm. We're back to that Adderall on the Resolute
That's
desk.
right.
Snort that shit up.
Let's go.
But anyway, all right, so we're going to get off that now, and we're going to learn about the heels.
Hey, wrestling fans! If you're a woman who loves professional wrestling, you need to check out AEW Heels, the official female-focused online community from All Elite Wrestling. It's a safe space to connect with other fans, share your passion, and build friendships with women from around the world. Members get access to exclusive content, virtual events, Q&A sessions with AEW talent, ticket pre-sales, contests, giveaways, and even in-person meetups at live shows. Led by Amanda Huber and Aubrey Edwards, AEW Heels gives you a place to truly feel part of the AEW family. Don't miss out! Join AEW Heels today and connect with your fellow wrestling fans like never before.
All right, Tori, let's have a little fun.
Yes.
Time to find out.
Who's better than Canyon?
Who better? So, a WrestleMania debut is where careers are defined. Some just show up, others steal the moment. Tonight, we're going to run the greatest WrestleMania debuts through a gauntlet. And when it's all said and done, we will find out who Tori thinks is better. Thus the name, Who Better? All right. The first one, Ronda Rousey's debut, WrestleMania 34. Did that tag with Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Versus WrestleMania 12, Stone Cold Steve Austin's debut against Savio Vega.
He debuted as the ringmaster, didn't he?
He did, but this was his WrestleMania debut. That's what these are. Like, they may
Yeah.
have wrestled before, but this was the WrestleMania debut.
Oh, awesome. Because Rousey's a chump.
Fair enough. Not if you ask her. If you ask her, she's the biggest UFC MMA event of all time. Highest paid, yada yada. Still in Becky Lynch's gimmick. I don't know what's going on. All right, so Stone Cold Steve Austin's debut versus Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania debut on WrestleMania 19 versus Kurt Angle.
That's when he tried to kill himself. Because he went for that shooting star or whatever and landed on his dome piece. Stick with Austin.
All right. Austin's debut versus WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins cash-in WrestleMania debut moment versus Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
Seth. That moment was amazing. The heist of the century.
Mm-hmm. All right. Seth versus The Rock's WrestleMania debut, WrestleMania 14, against Ken Shamrock.
Seth.
Okay. Seth versus WrestleMania 38, Bianca Belair's wrestling debut against Becky Lynch.
I don't remember it, so I'm going to stick with Seth because I remember that.
Okay. Seth versus WrestleMania 7, Undertaker's WrestleMania debut versus Jimmy Snuka at the beginning of the streak.
I got to take Taker on that one because it was a big deal. Like, it was a huge deal.
Yep. Okay. Undertaker WrestleMania 7 versus WrestleMania 20, John Cena's WrestleMania win against The Big Show.
Cena's, because that was a huge thing too, because he AA'd the Big Show.
Yeah. All right. WrestleMania 20, John Cena versus WrestleMania 18, Edge debut against Booker T.
Cena.
Okay. Last one. Cena's WrestleMania debut against The Big Show versus WrestleMania 10, Shawn Michaels ladder match WrestleMania Classic versus Razor Ramon.
John.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's many things you could say in terms of this moment to that moment that involve Shawn that I'm not going to pick Shawn.
I don't disagree. All right. Well, that was 10 debuts, 10 opponents, 10 moments that changed careers. Go ahead and drop in the comments. Pick who you think is better for your rendition of Who Better. All right. Well, this is the moment. We're going to bring it to the table. Dinner is served.
What the fuck was that sound?
Whose dinner is served. That is to pop my kid if they're listening. That's from I believe Has Been Hotel. What I'm thinking.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, it's one of the shows they watch. All right. So yeah, a lot of things that happened over the weekend. We're going to talk about two of them specifically, and then I'm going to let you talk about all the other stuff you watched because I know you watched a lot more than I did. Because every time I talk to you, you're watching something. First one was GCW's GCW Joey Janela's Spring Break, the Immortal Clusterfuck.
I actually had this on my list.
Yeah, I know. That's I popped it in here because I knew you had that on the list.
Okay, so this is basically a battle royal, except that you don't know how many people are in it. You don't know how long it's going to go. You can lose. I love their battle royal because you can lose by pinfall or submission, or being thrown over the top. Okay, like give me more of that.
Yeah, it's like they took the Royal Rumble and the Casino Gauntlet and had a baby.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Only this baby was entertaining. There was a lot of talent in this match.
Yep, and then
Sean Ross Sapp showed up, and then Brian Alvarez got in the ring too. That was definitely something.
Yes,
I'm not sure what it was, but it was something. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'm down.
I think I already have a link because I still use the thing you gave me. So. Yeah,
There were
we
a
can watch
couple
it
of
and
other
talk about it.
things in this match that I got a kick out of. First of all, D'Lo Brown was in the match, which I popped for because of D'Lo.
Yeah. Man has no neck vertebrae as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I forgot. Hold on.
And then
This is what happens when I get new stuff. I forget that I got new stuff.
Alvarez and Sean Ross Sapp. It was something. Sandman had his final match on spring break against the Invisible Man.
Yep.
Who was also in this match. I absolutely hate this.
So I will say I hate the Invisible Man thing. I do.
Yes.
However, Missy Hyatt was in this match. Mick Foley was in this match.
I'm with all that. I'm with all that.
So the run down memory lane was fun, but
yes. But then the Invisible Man was in the Immortal Clusterfuck too. Why? Oh why? Oh why? Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like why? What is this? I hate this with a passion. I think it's horrid.
Well, it's a little bit of that guerrilla wrestling type of thing of like it's PWG, I think is what I'm thinking. Where they have just silly shit. Wrestling a blow-up doll or wrestling a broom or...
You know what the difference is, though, with the doll or the broom? They're physically there.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally expecting people to wrestle like they're using a green screen to wrestle a gorilla.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
It is. And
I just hated every second of it.
It's one thing if you have someone like, if you had Ray Phoenix, someone who could do some cool shit. You had Sandman, who looked like he hurt just walking down to the ring.
Yeah, that was terrible too.
Yep.
But in the clusterfuck, we also had Starman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's going to be a lot of you that watch this that have no idea who Starman is. There was a game on the Nintendo called Pro Wrestling. That's all it was called. That was the name of it. It's Pro Wrestling. You had like 6 or 8 characters, and Starman was one of them, and he was my second favorite. I don't remember all the old names. Holy crap.
It was all knockoffs of...
Oh, yes, absolutely.
People that were actually wrestlers.
This game was so cheesy. Fighter Hayabusa, Starman, Ken Corn Karn. Okay, first of all, some of these are so racist. The Giant Panther, that was my other favorite guy. He was listed at 6'6", 320.
Mm-hmm.
King Slender, which was just their Hogan. The Amazon, which was basically the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Great Puma was awesome. This game was so stupidly fun back in the day. The Charles Mason Oku match I heard was incredible, Stampede. That Babes of Wrath and Stat match.
I was confused by that match because I thought they just broke up on the Dynamite before that.
They're not technically a team anymore, but they're still friends.
Now let's win that. Sorry.
Yes. So Starman was hilarious to me. But then in the clusterfuck, when he gets unmasked, it's Starboy Charlie, which made it even funnier. So I just... Overall, GCW was fantastic this week. Go ahead and your next one.
Well, the next one, we're going to have a lot of fun talking about, because it was our boy, Brody Lee Jr. versus Joey
That fucking
Janela.
spot killed me. That spot with the papers was amazing. The throwback was so good.
Yeah, like I know you want to talk about this one because like it was special. It was so special.
It was. And unofficial heels auntie. I actually had a picture with Brody and Amanda from All In last summer. He was super sweet kid, super nice, very polite.
Yep.
But
before we even talk about the match, I want to point out the gear was solid.
Did you see all the tributes in the gear?
Yeah, that's one. Like so many references in there. You had Cody's symbol. You had some stuff for the dungeon. You had some stuff for his dad. Like just all these references.
The Bludgeon Brothers too.
Yeah, like
the Bludgeon Brothers and the Wyatt family.
Like
it's
so good.
It was just such a good.
And then the straight out of the dungeon shirt
was amazing. To be fair, we are all aware this is Joey Janela putting over a kid. In an actual fight, no, Brody doesn't win. Yeah. Apparently, Joey walked. Now, there has been a lot of really bad things said about Joey Janela. Not going to pretend like they weren't. He's the first to admit he's not a saint.
Yeah.
I will give Joey Janela so much credit for everything he does for GCW to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But for this match, because apparently he worked on it with Brody, TJ, Natty, and Cody in at the dungeon for everything they did.
Yeah.
Do you understand the time involved with that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wanted to make sure that this looks good. I mean, obviously for himself, but like this being Brody's debut, him being 14, all of this working against this being something that's actually good, and it being the main event of the show. All these things, it should have failed. Everything on paper should have failed. Yeah. So I understand him going overtime on like, we got to make sure that this is perfect.
NWA got a TV deal?
It didn't surprise me.
Oh, shit.
I know they were pushing for one.
Comet TV owned by Sinclair. Okay, I don't know what Comet TV is.
We got a surprise entrance from Chris Bay, which was fun.
Because there was a stipulation that apparently there was no interference.
Yeah. Nobody from the family, quote unquote, could come out.
The roll through so Brody was incredible. The facial expressions, the reactions, the selling, all of it was so good.
Yeah.
So good. This kid is he's already ready.
Yeah.
And we got 4 more years.
Yeah. I want to focus on, to me, the favorite part of it for me, which was the final stretch of it. Because it was just emotional storytelling at its finest. They're trading blows. Brody hits a Sister Abigail with the kiss to the forehead.
Joey went for
shit out of that.
What was Joey going for?
He was going for something. He was going for the clothesline. He was going for Brody's clothesline.
That's right. And he basically Brody Jr. caught him on the way, kiss to the forehead, Sister Abigail, and that Sister Abigail was pretty.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
Again, props to Joey Janela.
Yep. He goes to go for the clothesline. That misses. They have a little back and forth there. Then he ends up kneeing Joey in the face.
That wasn't a knee. That was a V-trigger.
That was V-trigger. Hits him with the discus clothesline twice. And then he goes to pin him.
And pulls him up.
Yeah, there's 2 times that I looked at the TV and in my head, like old head person, saying, "Slow down, kid." That was one of those where I think he yanked him up so quick and then just went into the next spot. He should have milked that for a minute of like, I'm not letting this go.
Well, and before he hit the 2 clotheslines, he got hung up in the corner, but ends up basically sitting up out of it to unhook his feet,
That's right.
rolls through, catches Joey Janela in what looks like going to be a Scorpion Death Drop, and hits the best crossroads of the weekend.
Yeah. This was a great crossroads.
It was so good. Again, props to Joey Janela.
Yep.
And that's what started that sequence of moves.
Yeah.
He got out the papers like his dad used to do to John Silver, which was so funny.
Yep. Well, and then this was the other one, is the thumbs up, thumbs down, because he just kind of went straight into it. It's like, no,
Yeah.
should have milked that a little bit.
Yeah.
But
again,
thumbs down, threw the papers at him.
First match.
First match, 14 years old, can't really nitpick too much. But then he decides he doesn't want to end it with the clothesline. He wants to end it with a sharpshooter, shouting out Natty and Tyson for training him. Really good looking sharpshooter. He leaned a little too far back and fell. I think Joey felt it falling.
He started to lose it, and as he went to recover it, Joey tapped.
Yeah, I think Joey felt it kind of starting to go, and so he like tapped real quick to go ahead and end it.
Yeah. Amanda getting in the ring and hugging him is what got me.
Well,
all of that other stuff
brother
hit me. Yes, bringing in Nolan. All of that other stuff hit you in the feels as a wrestling fan, but knowing Amanda and having met Brody, that hit me in the feels.
Yeah.
As a heels auntie, as we refer to ourselves for him. It was a great match. Shout out to Joey. Incredible job.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about everything that happened in that match. Joey selling everything he did for that kid.
Yeah. Well, and Stampede points out Joey Janela is an unsung hero of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I do want to point out, I don't know if it was before this match or after this match, someone had caught Joey and started asking him questions kind of about like the past of like, you know, where you were, where you are.
Right.
Are you wanting to get picked up by a bigger venue when you're going to be back into a bigger company? And he has said like, look, I've done some horrible shit and I'm paying my dues. And if I get there, cool. But if I'm just here on the indies, then I'm cool with that too. So I think he's done some growth since those issues.
Well, and there's a certain amount of he's not going to be able to do what he wants to in WWE. AEW is still going to have some restrictions.
Yeah.
But I just can't say enough about him from this weekend. From everything I saw with him, he's amazing.
Yeah. And putting over this kid, like a million kudos for that. What else did you get to watch?
Pretty much all of the collective. Mine was more about the people. First of all, Shotzi.
Yeah.
From Wednesday through Sunday, 15 appearances, 9 matches in 4 days.
Yep.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah. She was kind of superstar of the week, kind of.
Yeah, and she killed it in everything she did. My MVP of the weekend, though, is Veda Scott. 10 shows, each of them 3-ish hours each, and she made all of them interesting. Every match, every person. I had not heard a ton from Veda before. I know she commented some of the stuff that was on last year's. I was so impressed with this woman.
Yeah.
Just so impressed. KJ Orso, formerly known as Fuego del Sol, has taken off the mask and gone full heel.
Yep.
I was so impressed with him. Just everything from start to finish with him that I saw from this weekend was so good.
Well, and if nothing else, the character itself. Like,
yes,
this is a
absolutely.
complete departure from Fuego del Sol.
Yep.
He is a full-fledged heel. He's a filled-out character. Like, he's doing so well with this new venture that he's doing.
And
The
him
whole
and Sam
storyline
Stackhouse.
of him retiring, and the retiring was he was just taking off the mask. Like Fuego del Sol was retiring, not me. That's great.
Sam Stackhouse was with him, who was actually, he wrestled a dark match at AEW when Christy and I went. He was really impressive. He was dressed very one-man gangish, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
One called Manders. I hadn't seen anything with him before. Wasn't aware of his game. Very impressive. Very impressive. I had some other people, but I changed list and don't have them now. But there was just so much from this weekend that I watched that was so entertaining. I'm definitely going to spend a lot more time on Triller catching some of these shows. Just because they're fun.
Yeah.
And it's not what we're used to all the time. And it's different.
Yeah.
Again, there's some matches that are not my flavor.
Well, and I think the benefit of watching some of that stuff, every time you and I talk about wrestling and what we like and what we don't like, I've always kind of been the, like, I like the fun in wrestling. I like it just to be fun. I miss the days where, like, we just had fun watching the show. Some of this stuff, like GCW, it's bringing that stuff back. It is a good mix of the AEW, we're wrestling, and the WWE, we're telling stories and having fun.
Right.
And it mixes it together. It's that
Yeah.
perfect mixture. There are some things, obviously, like, yeah, the Invisible Man gimmick, that stuff's weird. But
well, and another one was Matt Tremont. I'd heard the name. I'd seen the name on Twitter. But again, big man can move, was impressive.
Yeah.
He's more of a deathmatch guy, which again, not my personal flavor. Not yucking somebody's yum, just not my thing.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed with everything I saw from him. Really impressed. So yeah, Stampede, I'm absolutely discovering new things, and I'm definitely going to make them more into my normal watching time.
Yep. And something we learned about today was actually the announcement, the official announcement of who's going to coach for the company, T4T Wrestling, which is owned by Kid Bandit. We found out Kid Bandit. The other two names I don't have written down here because it was literally just I caught their names like before I started the prep for the show. But there's 3 coaches that are going to be part of it.
I find it. Because I just saw it a minute ago.
Yeah, it's popped up randomly on my timeline. I'm excited for the new venture for Kid.
Richie Coy and Darwin Finch.
There you go. Which I don't know anything about the other two.
I don't either.
But now I'm gonna go back and see if I can find some stuff because I'm curious. Like, are they going to be good coaches? I assume they're going to be, because why would Bandit, team up with
You're not
them
going to
if
put him in
not?
that position without.
But
And actually, on the post that they put in on the T4T Wrestle Twitter, there's a comment with Richie Coy and Darwin Finch, a little more about both of them.
cool. I'll have to go back and watch that, or
Yeah.
take a look at that rather. But yeah, a great venture for them. Like, it's something I'm looking forward to seeing, because obviously there's a lot of people that have backed Bandit. If you caught her goodbye tweet, and everybody who retweeted that and quoted that and stuff, talking about how great she is, like, and she's by all accounts a very sweet girl, very amazing in the ring. So good that there is a new venture that they're on. So
Yeah,
Look
I'm
forward to
excited about it. It'll be fun.
that. Couple of things that popped up. I don't know if you want to talk any more about stuff you watched or if you're
No,
done.
I'm good. I
Okay.
there's a lot, and we don't have enough time for all of that.
Yeah.
It was just like Stampede said. I'm getting into her world, and it was interesting, and it's definitely gonna be something I spend some more time doing and getting to know some of these people.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of why we brought this segment to the show, because I don't think there's enough talk about the indies anymore. So we're going to bring something every week that we've watched that is something out of the ordinary, not the two main big shows. Um, I also just wanted to bring up, just because it hurts family of the show a little bit. There was a decision made with AEW cutting ties with Pro Wrestling Tees. I was kind of curious what was going on. A friend of the show, Mel Coleman, had a very interesting tweet.
I saw that she was kind of stepping away. I did see the owner of Pro Wrestling Tees tweet that whoever posted the Reddit thing didn't talk to him before they did it. I think they cut some people, and it sounds like AEW is going to start producing their own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I hopefully it's better.
To me, then you should
In
hire the
terms,
people that just lost their jobs. Like
that's kind of what I'm hoping happens, especially Mel, because there's a lot
yeah.
of other factors involved there. But yeah, I don't understand not saying, "Hey, we're splitting away from them," but because these people are, and they may have had to wait, and hopefully we hear in the next few days, "Hey, these people have all been offered jobs by AEW now,"
Yeah.
because these people are the ones that come up with their gear and the shit's created, or their
There's
t-shirts and stuff.
t-shirts,
And the
yeah.
shit's created. Yeah, I saw that, Stampede. That was what I saw, but several of them tweeted that they were no longer with the company. So
Yeah.
it sounds like some of it was right, but not all of it. Yeah, that was what the president of the company said, or the owner, CEO, whatever he is.
Well, and that's good to hear. Like I hadn't seen any retraction myself, so it's good to see
Yeah.
that not all of them were let go. So I'm still having some sort of affiliation there with Pro Wrestling Tees, which is a great place to go if you like getting good t-shirts or even high end talent. Go there and check it out. A lot of fun. That's where I got my my Kid Bandit shirt.
But yeah, I hope that if AEW did split, which it sounds like they have, that these people all end up employed through AEW to keep doing what they were doing, which was amazing.
Yeah. Well, and it also selfishly, so Mel can stick around because he's amazing. And of course, everybody comes to her aid, especially when someone calls her a man. It was amazing that they dog walked that dude. But anyway. All right. Well, if you rocked us tonight, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and follow us wherever you're watching. And don't forget to join the Gimmick Table Media Discord. This past weekend, we had a watch party for WrestleMania and for the Hall of Fame. We throw all the major pay-per-views up there. Might even start throwing in, like if I'm watching a GCW show or a 1LW show or something, I might throw it up there too, just while I'm watching it. That way, if anybody wants to pop in and take a look at it while I am, just make sure to put on the notification of when something's streaming, so you'll know when we're doing those. As far as the last pop, this week's stories should honestly piss people off, and we should keep that energy, and we should not shut up about it. Because we've heard about the CM Punk stuff, we've heard about the Bailey stuff, the Damian Priest stuff, even the Booker T stuff. Elena Black being inappropriately touched, all of that. That's not fandom. That's entitlement. That's people forgetting that wrestlers are human beings who deserve privacy, safety, and basic respect. A ticket to a meet and greet or a social media follow does not make someone part of your personal life. The wrestling community prides itself on connection. But if we can't respect boundaries, then we don't deserve that connection in the first place. So fucking leave these people alone and give them their privacy and give them their respect as human beings. I know it's a somber note to end on, but I feel like that's how we need to end it. So in the meantime, and in between time, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at 2.
We stand together with pride worldwide. This is for the